Big Muddy Mayhem, the podcast where we talk about true crime and bad behavior in the Midwest.
Each week, we'll bring you 2 stories from the heartland that might break your heart, but we hope to entertain you along the way.
I'm Janet O'Brien.
I'm Tracey Laricha.
Hello!
Hello, Janet. How are ya?
Good.
It's
interesting right now, isn't it?
It is. We are recording live from the Cheshire Inn in St. Louis, Missouri, right here in the heart of the heartland.
Yes.
And it's been a big week, and we are here and excited and so thankful that you all came out and ready to entertain you with some spooky stories and some English stories and a little bit of all kinds of fun along the way. So yay, thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
We really appreciate it. And thank you so much to the Cheshire for having us. You are all welcome to join us if you would like, and if you like a good story. But otherwise, I believe that I'm putting all the pressure on Janet because she is the one that goes first this week.
I am. I'm the first one.
All right. And it is October, and I think that we never know one another's stories, but I believe that Janet did say that she has something a little spooky.
It's a little spooky, but not your normal
But
spooky.
not a normal spooky. I was curious about that.
Doesn't involve ghosts,
I'm just going to sit back and relax and let you tell it to us.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So mine, I started reading about this and I'm like, I can't even believe I didn't hear this story, but did you know South St. Louis, the city that a lot of us have lived in?
Live there, love there.
Had a serial killer.
Oh.
Who happened to be a dentist.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, you can't get spookier than that, right?
Okay. Yes. As if going to the dentist weren't frightening enough, right?
Exactly. Let's just add serial killer.
So, Southside serial killer dentist.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Sure. This seat makes a lot of noise, by the way, and I apologize for my recording.
It's not farting.
No.
It's
Have you ever heard of the name Glennon Engelman?
I have, but only because I spend way too many nights falling asleep to crime stories. But it's a good one, you guys, boys and girls.
So you know this one?
A little bit, but it's been a while.
Okay.
So I think that I do. All right, so Glennon Engelman.
Glennon Engelman. He was born February 6, 1927 in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, maybe not what I thought I knew.
He was the youngest of 4 children. He was raised in a regular old middle-class family with a nice home that his parents owned. He was an above-average student, but he didn't really have any particular thing that he was good at. He was just above average. He ended up going into the service in the U.S. Army Air Corps, and under the GI Bill, he ended up graduating from Washington University in dentistry in 1954. Glennon was married twice. He was married to Edna Ruth, which is Edna Ruth Ball, his first wife, and he opened a dentist office on the 4600 block of Gravois. So
Gravois.
Yes.
We butcher every single French pronunciation in St. Louis the same way that this man allegedly, I guess, probably butchered people. But so Gravois. Gravois. I always love hearing how Siri pronounces the French names of streets
So wrong.
Carondelet? Where is that? I don't know her.
He would treat the poorest patients who came to see him for free. He was married to Ruth, like I said, his first wife, for about 2 to 3 years. And after they divorced, he continued to still see Ruth.
Okay.
She would come in and get dental care. He would give her money, and they still did things.
Oh, dear. I was going to say, who trusts their ex-husband to, do your dental work? Man, if anybody...
Now, the thing you have to know about Glenn is a ladies' man, and if I showed you a picture, you would
guess
go, I don't
so.
understand why.
Why?
But he had a thing. He's divorced, but they're still together.
Some people just smell great.
Ruth, his first wife, she ends up getting remarried to a James Bullock, who's a 27-year-old clerk studying to become an accountant, who also happens to be a patient of Dr. Glennon Engelman.
Oh, wow. The trust.
I know. Shortly after November 17th, 1958, shortly after Ruth gets remarried, James is shot right in front of the art museum in Forest Park.
Oh my gosh.
Like in broad, like
right
during
there
the day.
in front of the statue and
Yeah.
everything.
He was getting ready to go to a class over at Forest Park Community College, which is right across the highway from Forest Park, where the museum is, and he didn't show up because he was shot in front of the art museum.
Oh my God. Shot in the heart. In front of the art. They found that his car was parked behind the museum, and this is the 1950s, and actually, this continued on for a while. People would typically park at Forest Park so they could meet people in the park. And so they just assumed it was, somebody just got killed because they messed around with the wrong person. So that's how it was written off. So Ruth waits a little bit, and she collects on his life insurance policy. Now, mind you, they've been married for 5 months, and she's already taken out a life insurance policy. Oh, that is fast. Take some notes.
Yes. Inside joke, we'll tell you later. For context, when this happened, Engelman has already remarried somebody else, Ida, April 20th, 1956. So he is still sleeping with his ex-wife. He has a new wife. And he's already helped. Well, I haven't gotten there yet. Engelman, he decided. Okay. So, he's done this dentist thing for a little bit, and he gets bored, and he meets this guy by the name of Eric Frey, who is married to Sandy Frey. I have to keep mentioning the women because this is Glenn. Sandy apparently is Engelman's niece-in-law and now also romantic partner.
Oh,
so now we have a third.
He's in so many mouths. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, wow, a dentist, it feels like that is a hard thing to be like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead, knock me out, get in my teeth.
I don't know.
But all these ladies are just like,
there's 3. We got 3
sign
so
me
far.
up. Yes, 3 and counting.
You'll do anything for free dental work, right?
That is true.
Engelman decides to open up and just kind of step away from doing the
And
whole
say,
dentist thing. He decides that he's going to get into drag racing.
Okay.
So he meets up with this Eric Frey guy, and they're going to build a racetrack in Pacific, Missouri.
Oh, hey. Anybody here from Pacific, Missouri? I'm just teasing.
Barely a year after Engelman marries Etta, his second wife, they divorce. So that marriage ends. So now we're back down to 2 people. But then he remarries a third wife.
Oh my gracious.
Ruth Jolly, and they end up having a son by the name of David. So...
Who was born with a full set of teeth.
So remember that whole first wife thing and her losing her husband? Well, he starts to build the drag strip, and Engelman's first wife, who's already collected on her husband's life insurance policy, invests $20,000 of that to him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So to put into the drag race that they're going to build. 5 years pass. September 26, 1963, Frey has, Engelman has convinced Frey that they need to go, they're trying to get this property all set, and there is a well on the property for the drag race. And he says, we need to blow it up. I don't know why he convinced someone he needed to blow up a well. I think you just are supposed to fill those with rock or dirt or something, but no, we're gonna blow it up. And then he mysteriously falls down the well with explosives.
Are you kidding me?
And Eric is blown literally to smithereens.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Glenn runs back. He's like, oh my God, he was just walking along and he just fell in and then it exploded. And the cops believed him.
Please tell me that dental records come into play at some point in time in this.
Oh, so basically what happened is when they really figured it out, he was hit over the head and then pushed in. Mm-hmm. And then the explosives went off. And so he was
shocking.
He was dead. Sandy Frey, the person that was married to the person who just fell down the well, after accepting her $25,000 life insurance settlement.
Oh my gosh.
For the death of her husband, which estimates about $264,000 today.
All right.
Gives $16,000 to Glenn, just to, to invest more into that drag strip. Mm-hmm. The drag strip, however, it goes bankrupt in 1964. So,
all right.
He's gotten a lot of money. They put a lot of money into it. No drag strip. So he decides, okay, well, I got this degree. I better go back to dentistry. While working back as a dentist, Carmen Miranda, I know, right? She has known Glenn since she was a child. Mm-hmm. Glenn kind of supported her family, like he supported their mom and 7 children. I assume he was probably sleeping with her mom because
paid for some of her hat bananas.
Groceries.
Well, when you wear a hat like that. All that fruit's got to come from somewhere.
So he grows up with Carmen, and then when Carmen is like, I really would like to have a job, my life isn't really going anywhere, and so he gets her a job as a receptionist at his dentist office. At this point, like, she's in her 20s, and he's like 50 years old.
This is not the same Carmen Miranda, but I'm still picturing her with like a hat full of fruit. Sorry.
So Tracey.
Yes, Janet?
What do you think he starts doing with Carmen?
I don't think he's making fruit salad. But
or
maybe
are they?
If by fruit salad you mean he's also kind of cheating.
Oh yeah, no. That's why I wanted a whiteboard to literally go, oh my God. So now he's sleeping with Carmen as well.
Oh, okay.
So we're at 3 or 4, I don't know. They start a relationship, and then one day she comes to the clinic and she's upset about her financial woes. She's like, I didn't go to college. I dropped out of high school. I'm just this receptionist. Things are not going my way.
Full of fruit.
So they're kind of bantering back and forth, and this is where you kind of clearly see how he drags them in to his ideas. He's like, hey, maybe you should marry a rich guy, and then, he could accidentally die, and then you'll be fine. And he thinks she's just joking.
Oh, my. Okay.
And then she kind of jokes back, oh, yeah, maybe I could find a rich guy. And he's like, better yet, you could try a life insurance policy.
Oh, my gracious.
But you don't have a guy. You don't have a guy.
Not yet.
Not yet. So they decide, you know what, we're going to find somebody for you. Mm-hmm. So she quits her job at the clinic, and she takes a job at another clinic, actually making more money. So, right there, she should have just stopped. She kept saying that she thought that he was going to be joking about this. She ends up meeting this Peter Halm guy that she dated in high school on and off, and he's like the age of 26. He doesn't have a fantastic job, but they get along pretty well, and they end up getting married.
Okay.
Well, the couple decide they're going to go to a car show at Six Flags on September 5th, 1976.
Oh, bless. They rode the Screaming Eagle, right? Like, that was still a thing in 76? Yeah, I think so.
So they end up, but they don't end up going to Six Flags. They decide we're going to stop off and explore some caves at a park. They go to a secluded area in the middle of a park by a pond where there's not really a clearing. So if you're hanging out by the pond, you're not going to see those people over there.
And nothing bad ever happens there.
No, and they're standing there looking at the pond, and all of a sudden they hear this bang! And he gets shot in the back and sprays out front. She freaks out because she really did not think this was going to be a thing.
Gosh.
So she runs. She's like, oh my God. And she runs screaming. People who are in the park see him lying on the ground bleeding. The police, they end up finding a 6mm rifle with a telescope sight buried under the leaves 50 meters from the body.
That's some shot.
Here's the thing. This park is also used for hunting.
Oh.
So guess what?
Thought it was a deer?
They thought it was a hunter who got scared for shooting someone and they took off. Now, they can't trace this because he has procured his gun through the black market, through a friend of his. So they can't trace anything. That when Carmen is running back to try to get a cop, another person, bypasser, sees a guy come out of the woods, stop her, say something to her, and then when they see them, he just kind of runs back into the woods and disappears.
Oh, my.
That would have been Glenn.
Okay, well, shocking.
She flags down the police, and then after a long time, they wait a while, she ends up collecting her insurance, $75,000, which is worth about $350,000 today. Engelman, Glenn, he gets $10,000 of it.
Wow.
Every time he does this, he gives most of the money to the woman.
To the other person, he's just dipping his beak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's the one behind the shotgun.
Uh-huh. But he can do it over and over and over and over again.
Exactly. So this man that I was mentioning before who got him the gun, his name is Robert Handy. He's the one that basically kind of helps him plot these things.
Okay.
He's the one who supplies the gun, and Glenn is the one who really likes to kill people sometimes.
Wow.
Engelman, he does... what does he do? He becomes desperate because now he has a bunch of debt with the IRS, and the scores that he's been getting, they've been pretty modest. John
should have kept a little bit more of his take, right?
Right?
Yeah.
John Handy and him, they start trying to talk about maybe we need to make another plan with another insurance policy. What are we gonna do? Engelman, who has already started another affair with another patient because
he can't help
himself. He meets this lovely lady by the name of Barbara Boyle. So the three of them start talking, and they're like, we can do this again, but we're going to do this properly. So she meets this man by the name of Ronald Goosewell. She ends up, they're like, and this is what I don't get, because this would have been a red flag to me, or maybe it would be now. They're like, well, we shouldn't go for a big insurance policy. Let's do little ones, little life insurance policies. You can forge his name on 14 of them.
Okay. I mean, there is a quality versus quantity thing to be considered here, right? I mean, all right. Show of hands, how many people would just go for the big payout? How many people would just skim a little bit off the top all the way down? All right. Well, now we know who to trust and when and where. All right. You're lucky that the camera's on us and not on y'all.
But the payoff on all 14 of these life insurance policies would be $190,000. And that would cut, basically get rid of their IRS debt and all that kind of stuff. So they start dating and everything, and then Barbara finds out, oh, Ronald's parents are rich.
Okay.
That's a new thing. She didn't know that when she started dating him. She had met him at a laundromat like 6 weeks earlier. So this is how she even met the guy. They end up dating for a whole 6 weeks and they get married.
They reached for the same dryer. He said, "Wow, you've got great teeth." And then they just went from there. Like, it happens all the time.
All the time. So now that she has dated him, they got married. She finds out, oh my gosh, his parents are worth about $1 million, which is like 2.6 million today. At this
Let's kill
time.
them.
And they start all scheming, and Ron and his friend Handy are like, you know what? His parents have a lot of money. We should get rid of them first. That way he gets the money, and then he dies.
And then we get,
Yeah.
okay.
So November 3rd, 1977, Ronald's parents, Arthur and Vernita, they are visited by a person who claims to be selling insurance or something about farms. It's kind of vague on what they pretended to be a person, and they were invited inside. He was carrying a briefcase. He walks in with the briefcase, and he pulls out a gun. He has the parents lie on the floor saying, "I'm going to tie you up." He does not tie them up. He basically executes them back in the back of their head. Now, within 10 minutes of arriving at the house, they've shot both of the parents. They've thrown a bunch of things around, making it look like it's a robbery.
Like a robbery. Yeah, exactly. Toss
and they're
the
gone.
drawers.
So
and all
10
of that.
minutes, gone. However, the father, Arthur, was not quite dead. He woke up. He was able to pull himself over to the phone, and he called 911, and he's like, "We were robbed, we were shot." And he ends up going unconscious, and at 9:30 p.m. he ends up passing away. So both of his parents are gone. And now Ron, he's got to lean on someone. He's got to lean on his wife, Barbara. The one that helped conspire to get rid of his parents.
Oh, no.
He also has children from a previous marriage, so he's leaning on his kids, he's leaning on Barbara, and she lets him lean on her for 2 years, not telling him
anything about
it. I get like, how could you hold that in for 2 years? It's just crazy to me.
I don't know. They're also all flossing regularly.
2 years later, March 31st, 1979, he pulls into his driveway, and the electric garage door was open. So he gets out of his car to go manually open the garage, and he sees a shadowy figure standing in the garage.
Okay.
Shoots him directly in the chest, and then another figure comes out from the garage.
I don't like this.
And hits him over the head with a hammer.
Oh my gosh.
So he is now dead and bleeding on their garage floor. Barbara comes out, and she's like, "Okay, we got to get rid of the body." They take the body, they put it in the back of his Camaro, and then they follow. Handy follows Glenn and I guess Barbara to this hotel. It's basically it's a hotel where it was a Holiday Inn that was hourly, so there was a lot of sex workers and drug addicts who would go there. And they just leave him in the back of his Camaro, parked in this parking lot, and nobody finds him for 5 days.
Oh my gracious!
In the backseat of his car.
That's so long.
Barbara, of course, the next day after she knows what happened, because she was kind of involved, she, calls and says he's disappeared. I don't know what's happened. But then they find him 5 days later, and what did the cops think? Oh, well, he was really depressed because his parents died. He wasn't doing real well. He came here and, a sex worker probably killed him. So they just let it go.
It's a perfect excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
The payment for the life insurance policies for $190,000, they get paid out. And the Barbara's neighbors are like, well, she packed up the kids, they moved out, this is kind of a depressing place to live, we understand, but they don't know that she's also inherited over $1 million.
Oh my goodness.
From Ron.
Yeah.
So Glenn decides he's going to cut ties with Barb. He's like, you know what, let's just make it to where we don't hang out, kind of let things simmer out and we'll be fine. And so at this point, somebody does eventually say that they murdered Ron and his parents, but it was just some other killer who was already in jail and was like, oh yeah, I'll take the heat for that too. But it was not this person. Then we get to our last final murder of Glenn. This one is not over some lover he had that he was like, let's do an insurance payment. This is full on, I owe that person too much money. What shall I do?
Okay.
There was a dental lab in St. Louis, and he owed about $14,000, which was about $40,000 today. The owner of the lab, Sophie Marie Barrera, she had filed a lawsuit against him because he owed her so much money. Because he was a dentist and he used his lab and his bills just went way, way up. 2 weeks before Ron was murdered, this Sophie, she goes to her car and she finds something under her car. They dug a hole, they put some explosives, and then they put like a panel over it, so when she starts the car, it was supposed to blow up.
Boom.
It did not.
Did not, because she sees
She sees it. And she's like, oh. And then Ronald passes away. They kill him. And then she's like, well, I don't know why she stopped looking under her car. Because she stopped looking under her car.
I would never stop looking under my car. Like, not for the rest of my natural born days. My goodness.
So I've gotten two different sources here. One says it was actually a delivery van for the lab. The other one says it was her gremlin. Either way.
Easy to get those mixed up.
I know. She gets in her vehicle one day and again, kablooey.
Oh.
And they blew her up like the same way they tried.
Smithereens.
I'm like, why would you stop looking under your car? If you don't even know who tried to kill you. That would freak me out. So once this happens, the cops are they've been kind of paying attention to Glenn for a while, and they're like, something's not right. There's no physical evidence, of course, and the police decide, you know what? Maybe we should talk to his third wife, see what's going on. So Special Agent William McGarvey, he comes to visit Ruth, and she basically had been trying to get out of this relationship for a while with Glenn. And when he shows up to talk to her, he's like, well, I really want to talk to you about your husband. She goes, oh, you mean my ex-husband that we divorced like a year ago?
Oh.
And you're like, oh, well, maybe she'll give me a little bit more information. And he kind of pushes and pushes, and then she finally says, okay, I know some things. If I tell you, can you get me and my son out? And he's like, you know what? We'll put you in witness protection, and you're going to spill. So she basically says she'd been trying to get out of this relationship for years. He's a master manipulator. He knows when to apologize. He knows when to make a big romantic gesture, and he knows when to make threats. After their divorce, he was still in her life because they had a kid together for, custody. And he had told her several times that he was going to kill her when their son David reached the age of 14 because he didn't need a woman in his life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Such a great person.
Anyway. I was going to say, and a good role model for a son.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So she tells the whole story of all the things that he's done. She's like, he has honeypotted at least 4 women that I know of, convincing them to marry somebody and then kill their spouses for the insurance payouts. He had an easy access to young women because he would have people come from the nursing program who wanted to learn or just patients in general. And
he did just seem to have that kind of charisma or charm. Like, he could just talk like young, vulnerable people into this.
I think he probably just made jokes like he was joking, and he was so not. And he had also told his now ex-wife about when he blew up Frey. So McGarvey was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to put you in the witness protection program, but you have to do something for us. You need to wear a wire.
Nothing
and she
goes
is
for
really
free.
afraid because he says he's going to kill her. So she ends up going and meeting them.
Oh my goodness.
She gets sometimes where he will say things like, you know, he'll just she was trying to bring things up basically, and at one point she gets really sick and tired because he's kind of avoiding the question. She goes, why do you have to kill people?
Oh my.
And he ends up
And
leaving.
he
says nothing. He leaves.
Okay.
So, but he can't keep his mouth shut. And then finally there is a story about one of his murders that happens to just be published in the newspaper, and it has some things he doesn't like in it, so she has to mention them. And he cannot keep his big fat mouth shut with the wire. He's like, finally, he had to complain about the newspaper article. He couldn't stop talking about it. And he also admitted that he would hire some people to do the killing for him at $1,000 a pop.
Oh, wow.
I don't even have the information on that.
Yeah.
5 days later, McCarvey takes Ruth and David to the airport and leaves, they get on an airplane to go into witness protection. And then 5 days after that, they end up arresting Glenn Engelman, Sophie, and they arrest him for the murders of Sophie and for Peter.
Okay.
Carmen and Engelman are both sentenced to 60 years without the possibility of parole. 1984, they cover new evidence of Ron's DNA on the garage floor because DNA. Barbara tried to flee the country and was extradited to Illinois, and her bail was set at $6 million.
$6 million.
Yeah. She was sentenced to 50 years in prison. After all the charges, Engelman ended up taking a plea deal, and that's probably why we have so much information on what happened, because he just, he had to talk about it.
All spilled, yeah.
Yeah. He ended up dying in Jefferson City in prison, March of 1999 at the age of 72.
Holy cats.
And that is my story of a serial killer dentist in South St. Louis.
Janet, that was a wild ride. And I do think that there is another serial killer dentist in St. Louis that I'll have to go and look it up. But I think that My Favorite Murder did one. And I believe it was a different person, but I would have to go and double check. But the fact that there's two of them, floss, everybody. Take care of your preventative care. My goodness.
So yeah,
I do have a story for you also tonight, and I am going to go ahead and pull that up. Now, we normally do at Big Muddy Mayhem talk about true crime and bad behavior throughout the Midwest.
Right.
However, because we are here through the generosity of the Cheshire Inn in St. Louis on Clayton Avenue, tonight we are here recording live in their lobby. There is all kinds of fun stuff going on over the holidays. They are welcoming us here tonight, and this is a traditional, British inspired English inn.
Yes,
with an English pub, Tudor style, all of that. So we always say when we record Big Muddy Mayhem, it's our podcast. We do what we want.
We do what we want.
And that means that we can get out of the Midwest for one little story tonight.
Okay.
And because we are here at the Cheshire, where every room is named for a British author, poet, or playwright, we are going to take a little trip to England.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you a story that is so good, but that I haven't been able to use before because it is outside of the Midwest.
I'm ready.
I am going to talk to you about Agatha Miller.
Oh, not
You
her
will
name.
recognize her as we move along.
Okay.
September 15th, 1890. So, Megan's birthday. Hi, Megan. Hi, Megan. Agatha Miller is born. She is the youngest of 3 kids, and she is kind of an oopsie baby. Her brother and sister are 11 and 12 years younger, or older than her, rather, respectively. So she is the baby of the family. Her mother and father are really in love, and they are a happy family. They really dote on their youngest daughter, little baby Agatha, who is homeschooled back before homeschool was a thing. In fact, her mother says her mom is kind of a little bit witchy, a little bit granola mom, like a little bit kind of natural. And it's like, I want Agatha to just play and learn what she wants to learn and do what she wants to do. I don't even want her reading until she turns at least 8 years old.
Oh.
Now, that being said, you know that kids are going to be contrary.
Always.
So Agatha is like, all right, well, you don't want me to read? I'm going to teach myself to read. So she becomes self-taught and like discovers the family library long before she turns 8 years old. So when she is 11, her father passes away unexpectedly. Now this does change things for the family. They lose income. But Agatha, because the family is kind of trying to keep up appearances, she is sent to boarding school, to a finishing school in Paris.
Ooh.
Between 1905 and 1910. So imagine being Paris, 1905 to 1910. The height of the Belle Epoque type thing. Like everything, it's giving Josephine Baker.
Yes.
It's giving like, you know.
Paris was the place to
all
be.
the Art Nouveau, all of that. So it's the place to be. In 1910, her mother also becomes ill, and the family is advised to change their climate for her mother's health. So they move to Cairo.
Oh.
So little Agatha, who has just gotten out of finishing school, they move to Cairo. They think that the weather will help. And she is just now about the age to come out into society. So she is a debutante in Cairo starting in 1910, and she is the belle of the ball. She receives 4 proposals that year alone.
Oh, wow.
She turns them all down because her mother and father were a love match, and she really wants that big, big love. So we're going to go to... this, I think, is really funny.
Okay.
October 12th, which is a special day for me.
Yes, it is.
October 12th, 1912. Agatha is scheduled to attend a party at the home of Lord and Lady Clifford. I picture them as big red dogs. Her date is a member of the Royal Regiment, but he comes ill, like on the night of the party. So he asks a friend of his, hey, could you please escort Agatha, this like young girl that I'm supposed to be taking to this fancy party? Well, the stand-in is a man named Archibald Christie. He is handsome as all get out. He has also gone to boarding school education, boarding school manners, all of that. He rides a motorcycle, vroom vroom. He's a pilot.
Ooh.
Pew pew, vroom vroom, another vroom vroom. And he's also a little bit of a bad boy and known to be a little bit of a womanizer. So, teenage Agatha, right? Instantly drawn in, right? Like, wow, this is the best stand-in date ever. So she falls hard and fast. He falls hard and fast. Her mother is instantly opposed to the whole thing. Like, no, please don't do it. Don't do it. Well, you know what happens when you're a teenager and you're in love and your mom says, don't do it.
You totally do it.
Oh, you totally do it. Within weeks, they're secretly engaged.
Ooh.
And just a week or two after that happens, though, Archie, again, pilot, Royal Regiment,
Right.
in 1912, he's off to the war.
Oh, yeah. The Great War.
The Great War, the first one. Yeah. Stay tuned. Anyway, for 2 years, Archie is off to war. Agatha, she's going to wait. December 1914, Archie comes home on holiday leave, and the couple takes a train to finally meet his mother and his stepfather. Just like with Agatha, Archie, his dad, also died when he was 11 years old. So they both have this like kind of boarding school experience, loss of a father early in life, like close to their mother. So Agatha, she meets Archie. Archie's like, hey, let's go meet my mom. They get on a train, and this is when a train takes 2 or 3 days to get where you're going, even if it's not all that far. And on the way there, Archie says, I can't go through with this. We really can't get married. I don't think that we should be together. I'm probably going to die in this war. Agatha, she is crushed, and she is angry. And they're stuck on this train together for like another day and a half, right? Awkward.
Right.
Awkward. There is no, like, I removed him from my friends group and then blocked him. They're there together.
They're stuck.
But overnight, Archie changes his mind again, and he says, you know what, Agatha? Not only do I want to marry you, but I think we need to do this as soon as humanly possible. Let's just go ahead and pull anybody that we can off the train and, like, get married ASAP.
Wow.
So they're getting married right now. They throw together witnesses, an officiant, and they are married in their street clothes on Christmas Eve of 1914.
Oh, wow.
And that is where our newly blushing bride is, before even meeting her husband's family, that is where she becomes Agatha Christie.
Ooh.
But they still need to tell their parents. Archie's mom, she takes it all right in that she takes to her bed for an entire week and won't come out and won't talk to anyone. And Agatha's mom, well, she's also not pleased, but Agatha doesn't even talk to her. She calls her older sister and is like, hey, I need a favor. You gotta talk to Mom about something. But our newlyweds, they don't care. They are caught up in a love bubble. They're caught up in marital bliss. But not too long after that, Archie does go back to war. Agatha needs to keep herself busy. So she becomes a volunteer nurse. She cares for a lot of, again, World War I. She's caring for a lot of Belgian refugees. She also, when working for the hospital as a volunteer nurse, she spends a lot of time in the apothecary, which means she learns a whole lot about poisons.
Oh.
Poisoning will take place in over 50% of all of Agatha Christie's novels. She actually did so much work with the apothecary that she literally could have gotten her pharmacy license if she had decided to do so. But again, she's taking care of these Belgian refugees, and she's also kind of writing for fun. She's got a whole lot of time to kill. Her older sister, Madge, the one that, like, broke the news to Mama about the wedding, they both really like reading kind of mystery novels, things that you have to figure out. They're both very clever. And Madge says to Agatha, well, why don't you write me one I can't solve? Bet.
Oh.
Agatha writes The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which is her first novel. And based on the refugees that she cares for, she creates this very clever, insightful, funny, and charming foreign detective named Hercule Poirot. Poirot. And so, so Poirot comes from, who will end up being, Poirot and Miss Marples become Agatha's, like, most famous characters.
Right.
But this comes directly from her work in the hospital. So while she's writing the book, Janet, all right, you've got to write a story that your smart older sister can't solve. And you've got to base it kind of on everything that you have gone through in the past few tumultuous years.
Okay.
And you have to make it really, really good.
Okay.
How long does it take you to write that book?
It would take like 2 years, I would think.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Wow.
To write The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Now, she writes it. Her sister's like, well, okay, yeah, I really hate to give this to you, but it is actually fine. It's good. You should maybe sell this. So she ships it to publishers. 6 different publishing companies will turn it down. The 7th one is lucky number 7, picks it up, and that book is published in 1920. This is the first of Agatha's books. Agatha is 30 years old.
Wow.
And she is also a young mother to her first and only child. She and Archie have a daughter named Rosalind, which I think this is cute. She named her daughter after the name that she gave her favorite doll when they were growing up.
Aww.
So Rosalind. Oh, everybody give it up for Rosalind. Now, Archie comes home, and he's not like a super sexy motorcycle riding pilot bad boy anymore. He gets out of the military, and he takes a desk job. He is encouraging her writing because, he really likes the money, and he really likes her out of the way. Because he's kind of grossed out by the fact that after giving birth to their daughter, she has, not managed to drop a few pounds of baby weight. Archie, we don't like him. Boo! He also kind of starts to hate the fact that she's out earning him.
Oh, yeah.
Agatha, though, she is still so in love. She is trying everything. She will do whatever it is that it takes to protect her family and her marriage. She tries to be a good, trad wife. She's also writing like mad to, earn a living and, keep the bills paid. And she's raising a kid.
No, she's got nothing on her plate.
No, totally. Yeah, absolutely not.
Yep.
Also, when is dinner going to be ready? So, at his suggestion, she also, in her free time, joins a children's charity. And she does make a friend. She makes a girlfriend. Her name is Nancy Neal. They work together, doing things for this children's charity. And Archie approves. Archie's like, actually, you know what? I like Nancy. She's all right. She seems like a good person. Okay. Also, Archie and Nancy both enjoy golf, so they have that kind of in common. In 1926, with all of this writing money, because, man, Agatha writes, she makes Alexander Hamilton look lazy in how quickly she puts out novels and puts out stories. Well, in 1926, they buy a house in Sunningdale, England.
Ooh, okay.
Doesn't that sound lovely?
It does.
And it's on a golf course.
Oh.
So Archie's happy about that. He can golf whenever he wants.
Okay.
When he's busy, not feeding the family and not raising his kid. And they name the estate, this is back when everyone would name their estate, they name it Styles. So she has an estate at Styles.
Sweet.
Later that year, though, unfortunately, in April 1926, Agatha loses her mother. She finally, her health had been poor for years. Her mom passes away. Archie doesn't go to the funeral.
Seems like a winner.
Yeah, I know, right? Who wouldn't? Wow, you rode a motorcycle 20 years ago, She is flat and she's heartsick. Archie very helpfully decides that now is a good time for him to go on an extended business trip for this kind of half of a job that he has now. So Agatha takes Rosalind and they go back to Devon, England, and they set upon the task of clearing out her mother's house. 2 months later, Archie rolls up, and Agatha is like, hey, listen, things haven't been so great. I need to ask you, like, are you happy? Are you trying to leave me?
Right.
Archie says, and this is a direct quote, I don't think you want me to answer that. Yeah, Archie, boo! So also, he, like, all right, well, I don't think you want me to answer that, but also, in addition to this, there is one little other thing that I need to mention, and that is that I have been carrying on an affair with Nancy Neal for 1 year now, and we're in love, and I'm pretty sure I want to marry her. So I don't think that this is going to work for us. So they struggle for a few more months. Again, Agatha is doing everything she can to try and make it work. But December 3rd, 1926, they have a big argument, and he says, look, there's no question about it. I want a divorce, and I am leaving, and I'm spending the weekend with Nancy. Full stop. So Agatha is just beside herself, and that night, Archie is gone. Agatha leaves Rosalind with the nanny and leaves a note for her assistant saying that she's going to be gone for the night, more to come tomorrow.
Okay.
She also apparently left a note for Archie, but when he was questioned about it, he said, oh, it was just really crappy, so I burned it right away. So we don't have any record of what was in that or if it ever existed.
Oh, right.
Also, days later, Archie will also say that she left a note for his brother, so Agatha's brother-in-law?
What?
But brother-in-law threw that note away. Right. Because, the first thing that you do when you're getting divorced is, write your husband's brother and tell him what's going on, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so the next day, don't worry about the crime, folks, it's fine. December 4th, 1926, Agatha's car is found in a remote location near a cliff and parked in neutral.
Oh my God.
Inside the car, we will find her driver's license, her fur coat,
Okay.
face powder, a torn up postcard, which I'm sorry, you can't put a puzzle together and tell us what that said. 2 children's books, and Agatha's purse. What is going on, Janet?
I don't know.
I know, neither did anybody.
Right.
Nobody knows. Everybody is looking. Agatha will end up being missing for a total of 11 days.
Wow.
Now, this will start as a local story, then it goes national, then it goes global. We have told a few stories where we talk about search parties.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
This one is gold standard epic. 15,000 people will take place in the official search parties. That's not counting the ones that are just nosy little girls like Janet and I who would be out there looking to see if we can crack the case. They will bring out hounds. So many hounds, they mentioned 6 specific breeds and just dozens upon dozens upon dozens. Lakes will be dredged. This will also be the very first time that airplanes are used in the search of a missing person
Because of Agatha
in England.
Christie.
Because,
wow.
Exactly. Well, it's Agatha Christie.
Exactly.
The police are changing their theory day by day. Is it a suicide? Is it a kidnapping? Is it a murder? Because Archie is getting the hairy eyeball and he absolutely deserves it.
Yes.
Also, Agatha, because she put out a new book every time you turned around, she has a new book coming out. So maybe it's a PR stunt. if she just goes missing, maybe she's creating a mystery to sell her mystery. Archie is really in on that one. Yes, that one, yes.
That one, for sure.
This is all about the book. I remember. Totally the book. As every time when somebody goes missing, the psychics will weigh in. You know, we're kind of deep in the time of like psychics and mesmerism and, you know, like people that see beyond the veil.
Oh, yeah.
Chief amongst them, and this is kind of a fun little aside, chief amongst them is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, also a famous British author. We have a room named for him here at the Cheshire. Visit the Cheshire, everybody. Arthur Conan Doyle gets a hold of one of Agatha's gloves. I don't know why. I don't know how. But he teams up with an occultist and he says, "Oh, I've got her glove. I'm taking a look at it. She's still alive. She's still alive. We're going to find her by Wednesday of next week." They will find her Tuesday on the following week.
It was close.
So Janet.
Tracey.
Janet.
Tracey.
Janet.
Tracey.
We're obligated to put that in every episode. Janet, where was Agatha Christie?
Was she on vacation?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Was she in a different country?
No.
Oh.
She's been staying in very comfortable accommodations at a very nice hotel, much like the accommodations that you can find at the Cheshire Inn here in St. Louis, Missouri. When you need to go missing. But Agatha didn't know about the Cheshire, so she wasn't there, so she had to make do with the Swan Harrogate Hydropathic Hotel. Now, also this time of year in the 1920s, you know, we've been to Oakville and all of that. All right, so this is like a hotel and spa. She checks in December 4th, one day after leaving her home, no luggage. She says she's recently returned from South Africa where she's recently lost her son. Now,
What?
Yeah. No, she doesn't have a son. So,
no.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe she did and just lost him, but misplaced him. But no, she checks into the Harrogate Hydropathic Hotel, and she says that she's just come back from South Africa. She has no luggage, and she checks in under the name Mrs. Teresa Neal.
Okay.
Now, if you remember, Nancy Neal is her husband's mistress. So I guess she figures, like, all right, fine, you're going to borrow my husband. I'm going to borrow your last name. Agatha has been having a really nice time, too. She shows up. She doesn't have anything but the clothes on her back, so she goes shopping. But she forgets to take the tags off of one of her expensive scarves. So the entertainment director is kind of like, what in the mini pearl is this? She sleeps late. She does spa treatments. She takes breakfast in her room. But in the evenings, she joins the other guests in the hotel lounge where she will sing, dance, play the piano. She's very good at billiards. Again, goes to the spa. And she also spends a whole lot of time in the hotel library. Again, you love a literary hotel, like the Cheshire Inn in St. Louis, Missouri. But in the hotel library, she's reading mystery novels. And she's also reading the daily papers that are all front-line headlines about the disappearance of Agatha Christie. Where could she be? Newspapers won't stop talking about it. The hotel manager's wife says, you know, I think that Mrs. Neal, there's something odd about her, and she looks a little bit like...
A little bit.
this author. And the manager's like, whatever, wife, you know. Meanwhile, back at the ranch at Styles, Nancy Neal's family, as this kind of starts to come out in the paper, they pack her up and they send her on an all-expenses trip, like paid trip around the world just to get her out of the spotlight.
Oh my God.
Archie is still saying, oh, this is a PR stunt. And he's also kind of nasty with reporters, so the press hates him. But now, one local paper does happen to publish a portrait of Agatha.
Oh. Why didn't they do that?
She didn't like to have her portrait taken, so on all of her book jackets and stuff, she very seldom had her likeness published anywhere. So once there is a picture, a couple of musicians that are in the hotel band over at the spa and hotel, they say, hold on a minute, and they call the police. The police call Archie, and they're like, hey, want to show up here and see if maybe this is your wife? December 15th, Agatha meets up with Archie once again and walks up just as cool as you please and was like, oh, hello, I'm Mrs. Neal. This will eventually get straightened out a little bit.
Right.
Agatha will, within a couple of days, and with some coaxing from her sisters, remember or admit to who she is. She will state that she thinks she must have hit her head on the steering wheel when she wrecked that car. But she doesn't have any cuts or bruises, as far as anyone remembers. The press is really angry. They are now thinking, all right, this is either a hoax, it's a stunt. They're kind of almost starting to lean towards Archie's theory that
it was
a PR stunt.
Yeah.
She will be investigated by doctors who say, yeah, no, it's absolutely possible that she had some kind of injury that caused a temporary amnesia. She will also be investigated by the MPs, like the military police, who won't charge her with anything. Even though they spent, more money looking for her.
Yeah, no kidding.
Frankly, we never will know the entire story. Why do I keep doing unsolved stories when I hate them? Oh. Now, in March 1928, 15 months after this whole shebang goes down, Agatha is the one that files for a divorce. Now, a week after the divorce is final, Archie is going to marry Nancy.
Okay.
So, all right, whatever. Take your ball and go home. Take your Neal and go home. Agatha will, though, become even more famous for all of the hullabaloo surrounding this story, and a good ending for her. In 1930, she will also marry again. She will marry a man named Max Mallowan, who is an archaeologist at the British National Museum. Nice. They will be married and, by all accounts, happy until she dies. And I'm going to leave us with just a few words of hers because she's far more clever than I ever would be. And this is so lovely. Upon marrying Max, she says, you know, an archaeologist is the best husband that a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her. So, thank you again to the Cheshire, and thank you for letting me get outside the box to tell a little bit of a British story tonight. And that is the story about the 11 days disappearance of our beautiful, much beloved Agatha Christie.
That's amazing. Thank you. That was a great story.
Oh, wonderful. I believe that this is where we usually
take a break.
Do we have the opportunity to take a quick little break?
Yeah, we can take a little
and
break.
And then 5 minutes maybe?
No.
Everybody please do go to Fox and Hounds if you need to freshen up your drink. We'll give it maybe 5-10 minutes for everyone to
and the second part is pretty short.
To do that, and then we'll be back for a very brief What's Nice.
We'll be back with What's Nice.
Alrighty.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
And now it's time for What's Nice.
It is time for What's Nice here. And I believe that you go first.
I believe
correct?
I do, yeah.
All right.
So since we did St. Louis, we always try to stick with something in the same town that the crime happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here, and no one's mentioned this hotel at all, but I am one more time. My what's nice is the Cheshire Inn.
We are here at the middle of the Cheshire Inn, recording live.
Exactly. So the Cheshire, it's a luxury hotel that stirs the imagination and warms the spirit. With an authentic British-inspired aesthetic, we offer a unique personal alternative to cookie-cutter branded hotels in St. Louis. Centrally located and close to Washington University in Forest Park, our hotel is the ideal business and social hub for travelers seeking something different. We have the Fox and Hound here, which is a little pub that also happens to sell drinks. They have a really cute fireplace in there. I love coming here in the winter just to kind of hang out and talk to people.
Good lamb sliders. Oh my gosh.
The fish and chips are amazing. They have themed hotel rooms here. What are some of the themed rooms?
Heavily themed novelty suites would include the James Bond suite, which is one of the most popular. My personal favorite is the Treasure Island suite, which has a big soaking tub and its own in-room fireplace. That is where I spent my 50th birthday earlier this summer.
Sweet.
Other just kind of off the top of my head, wow, there are so many, but I also really like Romeo and Juliet. If you are getting married or know somebody that's getting married or that just wants to have a nice little romantic getaway, then that is also a room that has a lot of beautiful natural light, some space, and, a big soaking tub, and just a really good place to relax and just enjoy a night in.
And nobody works in sales here.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Also, keep in mind that there is complimentary Wi-Fi and complimentary breakfast, a really good breakfast. Believe me, I have it lots. And just like a lot of really nice kind of little touches. If you're celebrating a special occasion,
This is definitely a place to come.
let us know. Yeah, I was going to say it's a good way to make things special. We have packages that can be added on.
Right.
A romance package, which would give you a late checkout, some champagne, and some chocolate-covered strawberries. We have a food and beverage package, and I'm going to stop just selling the hotel and get back to doing the podcast. But, I mean, I wouldn't be saying this on our podcast if I didn't really believe in it as a person. And show of hands, anybody here that stayed here? Yeah? Handful of folks. Everybody liked it? Yeah? All right. See? All right. Well, 4 out of 5 killer dentists.
So, yes, the Cheshire Inn, it's a lovely place to come. They got 2 restaurants, and you should come. And I will post pictures about it. But that is my what's nice. It's
Absolutely.
pretty short and sweet.
My what's nice is also a hotel, because I wanted to talk about the fact that the place that Agatha Christie disappeared to is called the Old Swan Hotel, formerly the Harrogate Hydro Spa.
Yes.
It was built in 1777. 136 rooms, so just a few more than the beautiful Cheshire that you can stay at here in St. Louis, Missouri. But it is near town center, near the town center in Harrogate, with Turkish baths. The first building in Harrogate to have electric lights. I don't want to brag, but the Cheshire features all of our rooms with electric lights. It was renovated in 2006. I think that we have renovated more recently than that. And of course, also not like a transatlantic flight away, but you can go and stay at the Old Swan Hotel and go ahead and disappear like Agatha Christie did for a little bit. And of course, they do also offer murder mysteries at the Harrogate Hotel.
Nice. Nice.
But if you need to find a place to spend 11 nights just getting away from it all, I again want to suggest kindly that you come and stay at the Cheshire Inn in St. Louis, Missouri. Tell them Agatha Christie sent you.
So we're so glad you all came out.
We
this
are.
Is great.
Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yes.
And we really appreciate you. We appreciate you coming out. We hope that you've had a good time tonight. Please don't forget. I mean, I'm pushing the hotel, but please also listen and subscribe to Big Muddy Mayhem.
Push that like button.
We are Big Muddy Mayhem. Leave a review and follow us on anywhere that you get your podcasts.
Exactly.
We don't care where you get your podcasts. That's your business.
We won't tell.
We're not asking questions. It could be an alley. It's fine. It's none of mine. Never mind. But there is one thing, Janet, I think that we do still need to let people know about.
Yeah, what is that?
That is Stay Midwest nice.